Welcome back. In today's video I'll be showing you how to transfer all data from your old iPhone to your new one. This should include all apps, data, settings, contacts and more. We'll be using iCloud to back up our old iPhone and then use this backup to set up our new one. Don't worry if you don't have enough iCloud storage, as you should be eligible for as much temporary free storage as you need to back up your old device, and I'll show you how to do this if you need to as well. Let's get into it. Before we start with the transfer, I'll run through some additional information and checks to do, so feel free to use the chapters to skip any of these if you think you're covered. If you no longer have your old iPhone, you can still follow this method and use the data from iCloud, but the latest backup might be far back in the past. If you see the Quick Start setup option on your old phone, you're welcome to transfer data and set up this way. Although if you run into any problems with updates or Quick Start itself, the iCloud option is always there. You'll need to turn on Bluetooth if you wanted to use Quick Start rather than iCloud. It's a good idea to have a charger with you ready, just in case either your old device needs power for the backup or new one for the transfer, as these could take a while. It's probably best if you have the latest update of iOS installed on your old device to make use of newer features that might make it easier to transfer. You can check for updates by going to Settings, then General, and then Software Update. As mentioned, if you don't think you have enough iCloud storage, I'll include a section on how to access free temporary storage if you need it. This will be step 1B. If you're unsure, you can still try this, and if you need it, you should be given it. Just remember that this will be temporary, so you'll need to set up your new iPhone within the required time frame, but it should be at least a week. None of the data will be deleted unless you choose to do so on your old iPhone, so you can always try the transfer again if you need to by creating a new backup or by using the same one to set up your new iPhone. If you have a physical SIM card, you can insert this into the new iPhone before you start to set it up, as long as you won't require the data to use to back up your old device. If you use an eSIM, keep an eye out for the option to transfer this as part of the setup process. I'll also link a helpful article in the description from Apple that covers more information about setting up or transferring your eSIM if you need more info. You'll need Wi-Fi to complete either the backup and setup of the new device, and the speed of this may impact how long it takes to create backups and transfer the data. You can choose to use cellular data for the backup, but bear in mind that you'll likely be transferring a large amount, so check your plan's limits. For the first step of the actual transfer, we need to ensure that our old device has a recent enough backup that we can use for our new iPhone. You'll want to do this as late as possible on your old phone to make sure you have everything updated when you transfer the data. To check you have a backup and how recent it is, open the Settings app on your old iPhone and then tap on your Apple profile name at the top of the page. Now scroll down on here and select iCloud. And now choose iCloud Backup in the Device Backups section. Make sure the toggle switch is enabled next to where it says Backup this iPhone, and check the date and time of the last successful backup. If this is recent enough, then you can move on to the next step, or tap on Backup Now to create a more recent backup. If you tap on the backup next to this iPhone's name at the bottom, you can check that everything is backed up as expected. If not, make sure these toggle switches are enabled, and you can then create a new backup by tapping on Backup Now on the main page. Bear in mind this could take a while, and if you want or don't want to use data, you can use the toggle switch to choose this. Allow your device to back up, and check that the date and time of the backup is current once it's done, and if it is, you're ready to move on to step 2. If you don't think you have any iCloud storage to use to backup, here's how you can access the free temporary storage. Open the Settings app and then tap on General. Within here, scroll down to the bottom and tap on Transfer or Reset iPhone. On this page, look for the message at the top called Prepare for New iPhone and tap on Get Started. Now choose Get Started again. If you have any options asking you to enable iCloud or backups, make sure these are turned on, and allow any apps to use iCloud if you want data from these transferred. Continue through the steps until you are on the page that says Done and allow the backup to complete. You might now want to go through the method in step 1a, which was just before this section, to see your backup's date and time and check its progress. We're now ready to begin the setup of our new iPhone. Power it on if you haven't already and wait for it to start up. The first screen will be the Hello page. After this, you can select a language and you might see some appearance options. You then need to select your Wi-Fi network from the list. Enter the password for the network and then allow your iPhone to activate. After this, continue through some of the setup steps. These include setting up Face ID by scanning your face as it requests. You can choose to set this up later if you want. Next, create a passcode and then confirm this by entering it again. You should now be on a page called Transfer Your Apps and Data. If not, continue through the setup until you are. We'll be choosing the top iCloud option for this, but you could choose the From Another iPhone if you wanted to use that method. After tapping on iCloud, you now need to log into your Apple account. Make sure this is the Apple account that you use on your old iPhone in order to get the old backup. Enter your email and then password and continue. You may need to verify your login by entering the code as it requires. Agree to the terms and continue. Your new device should now sign in, and then you'll see a list of backups to choose from. Make sure you choose the backup we created earlier for this. Check the date and time to be sure and tap on it. Next, you can check everything that will be transferred by looking in each of the sections. If this looks fine, tap on Continue and work through the next few pages. Some will require you to continue, but you may be able to opt out of things like analytics data collection. If you have any cards in your Apple Wallet, you'll likely need to confirm these by entering the security code, then agree to the terms, and you may also need to verify this with your bank, either via text, phone or app. The next setup page is Siri. Tap on Continue to set this up now and follow these steps, or choose to set this up later in the settings. The order you get these pages may differ, so don't be alarmed if they don't line up exactly with what I'm showing. You may also be required to install updates at some point. Eventually, you'll be on a page that says Restore from iCloud. Wait for this to complete. It could take a while. Once your device makes it through this, there could be more setup pages, so work through these. They could be some of the ones I've already mentioned if you hadn't got them yet. If you have an iPhone 15 or newer, you'll see some of the new features explained. Tap on Continue to move through these pages. You should now be on your new iPhone and everything should look familiar with your background and layout. You'll need to wait for the full transfer of all your data, so don't be alarmed if some of your data seems to be missing. In the settings on your new iPhone, you'll see the progress of the transfer from iCloud in the Restore in Progress section near the top, so keep an eye on this to see how much data has been moved. Once this is complete, I'd recommend checking your new phone to see that everything has been transferred across before you choose to delete any data on your old device. You can of course leave the data on your old device for as long as you want, but obviously you may want to reset it if you want to sell the old device. You should now be ready to go on your new iPhone, and you can continue customizing your new device in the settings, check out the new features and use it as normal. That's how to transfer all data from your old iPhone to your new one. Click the card on screen now to watch a video of mine showing you 10 easy ways to speed up your iPhone or iPad. If you have any questions, then let me know in the comments below, and if you did find today's video helpful, remember to leave a like and feel free to subscribe for more tips in the future. Be sure to stick around to see some of my other videos that you might be interested in. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.